I don't know if you remember from your childhood, but I recall taking like social studies classes, geography classes, and we would have these maps of different um, continents and filling in the countries. Like I'm remembering Africa, and there'd be each of the countries, kind of outlined, and then I'd use crayons, to fill in the different countries. And this image just came to me, funny as it may sound, of like, I do my best as a young boy, to fill in the whole thing, make sure there weren't any missing parts to my crayoning of each of the different countries. And the image came to me of how, of reality, of this reality, and how there's nothing to fill in. There's no space anywhere that's missing the fullness of reality, that's missing the beingness that's here. There's no places where this reality is not completely, utterly, entirely, absolutely of full of being, full of life. There's no it's already all filled in. It's completely filled in. You feel that? There's a lovely term that I heard some years ago out of the Tibetan tradition of, often they would talk about awareness, but I will sometimes use that word, but it's like all words, runs the risk of creating the sense that there's something other than, in this case, awareness. But this is true of any word. I could use the word being, and that can create the sense that there's something other than being, which is why I have a word to designate something called being. Or we could use the word God, and it's the same challenge with words, right? But this term that was sometimes used to describe awareness is it's like sunlight filling space. And it's a beautiful, beautiful image that captures what I'm talking about here, is that the sun, our physical sun, the light of the sun fills the entire space, doesn't it? Effortlessly, it fills space. And the sunlight of being, or the sunlight of awareness, the sunlight of divinity, whatever you want to call it, fills the entirety of space. It is the entirety of space. In other words, there's no places where this light of existence is absent. Which is why nothing needs to be done to make this absolute fullness be the absolute fullness that it is. It is this absolute fullness and completeness, everything filled in, this being like sunlight filling space completely. There's no places where, in the vast field of experience, in the vast field of this moment, there's no place where reality is missing somehow, right? Where the reality of being, of life, of existence, again, the words fail, but there's no place where it's absent, right? It is this sunlight of existence that fills the entirety of reality with its presence. So if you ever have that experience of like, you know, you're looking for it somehow, like you're looking for that sense of presence, you're looking for that sense of being, that maybe feels like it somehow slipped away and you lost touch with it somehow. And then, you wake up in the morning, it's like, well, where is that? It's this sunlight filling space. In other words, everywhere your attention may turn, whatever your attention may happen to land upon, it's landing upon the fullness of this. It's always, it can't alight on anything, you know. Everything at attention lands on, alights upon, is this sunlight of reality filling all of reality. So you can completely relax attention. You don't have to attend to anything in particular, because anywhere attention travels, anything that's noticed, you're noticing this um, this that is everywhere, right? This being. You see, it's that easy. There's just existence, just so everywhere you travel, if you will, in the field of experience, this is what you're encountering. Every little tiny, if you will, pixel in the field of experience is this absolute being that fills the entirety of reality, right? There is no place where it is not, would be another way to put it. There's no, like sunlight filling space. There's no place where the sun is not, because it fills the entirety of everything. It is everything. It's not like something filling some space. It's not really like that, right? It's just this, and this is everything. This is you. This is every thought that arises. This is every feeling that arises. This is every emotion that arises, every sensation that arises, every circumstance that arises. Because there's nothing else. It is this absolute reality that is everything, is, of course, each momentary perception, each instant is, you could say, the absolute reality taking shape as that instant, taking shape as that moment. Oh, what does God look like? It looks like exactly what you're beholding. And then in the next flash instant, quicker than we could ever imagine, it looks a little different because of its dynamism, its constant fluid morphing, right? It's just stream. It's like a stream of, you know, just like a physical stream that's moving. It doesn't stand still. The stream of the creative force of the universe, you know, shining forth, creating in each instant, manifesting in each instant its vitality, its wondrous um, its wondrous nature, you know, appearing as everything. And so we don't have to have a particular experience in order to encounter it. We don't have to be in a particular state of mind to encounter it. We don't have to have a certain special set of circumstances, you know, just the right, everything arranged just the right way. Got our candles arranged just in our rituals. You know, rituals can be beautiful, of course, but um, they don't make the sunlight doesn't become brighter when we do something to seemingly make it brighter. It's the brilliance is the brilliance of reality that's always shining no matter what is being done, which is why what we're doing is not really the point. It's more to see that all of our doing, all of our action, if you will, all of our movement is the movement of life and the movement of this one thing that uh, it's, this one thing being everything. I mean, just flips the entire thing upside down in its head, right? It's like, as much as we may feel ourselves to be what's initiating the things being initiated in this life, that we really and truly are being moved by this that moves everything, this that is the generator of, like, how is this moment even here, right? Like, what's creating this moment and creating us in this moment? The body, the mind, that's sustaining each instant. I mean, it's incredible. It's like, um, and there's so many kind of magical aspects to this to contemplate and feel. And one of them is that we can never, ever, ever find a before. I've talked about this in the past that We've talked about this in the past that I just said you can't find. You can never find what led up to this moment. This moment is just, isn't it amazing? Like, you can only experience this flash, this instant that's here without, seemingly just has come into existence magically. Like, it's just here inexplicably. And it's just, it's astonishing, isn't it? But it is so key to see that the impossibility of missing it, right? Like, that everything you're looking at, as I was saying, every little portion of your experience, every little tiny aspect of it, like, there's a moment and something's being looked at or perceived or contemplated, and like, there you're seeing the whole of reality is there, because all of this is the whole of reality. It's not, there's actually no little parts to it. There's no little pieces to it. There's just the entirety of reality. That's um, right. I mean, if you look out at the ocean, as I say, you don't actually see pieces there. You see a singularity. And we're beholding the singularity right now. We're beholding a world that is not divided, fundamentally not divided, because it's one reality. It's one sun shining forth as everything, shining forth as each moment, and inexplicably, magically here. This explosion of life that's just here in all its wonder and vitality and brilliance and astonishment. I mean, really, we really truly are, I say it all the time, but we are truly beholding the absolute miracle of existence in each instant, in each perception. There's the miracle of existence. That there even is perception is the miracle of existence, isn't it? Not so much what you're perceiving, but just the fact of perceiving itself is um, so it's just a matter of seeing this, of seeing that it's impossible to see anything else but this divinity. It's just simply not possible. We may imagine that we're not seeing it, and if there's any obstacle, that's the obstacle, is this imagination that it's somehow not here, that it's something other than what I'm currently experiencing, that I have to have a different experience to realize this divinity, this all-pervading presence. But no, it's all pervading. That's why you don't need to have a different experience. In this sense that I'm speaking about, there's no special states. There's no, all of it is the deepest, 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 fathomless depths. There's no surface. There's just fathomless depth. Even in the most seemingly mundane if you will, seemingly not that spectacular of moments is the spectacular. It is, right? All of it is existence. That's what I mean by, in my example of coloring in the, the countries, like, it's not like there's this being and then, oh, there's this little part over there. I gotta color it in with more being to fill in the missing links, the gaps of being. It's like, if I just do this kind of practice or inquiry, I can just like fill in that space. Oh, there's the being. It's like, no, it's like it's already all filled in, you see, all full.